Have you ever felt your blood sugar spike suddenly? That dry mouth, sudden fatigue, blurred vision, or even an excessive urge to urinate. Many people go through this in their daily lives and don't know how to react. And then comes the question, what can I do right now, in a simple and safe way, to lower my blood sugar? This is usually when all kinds of advice appear, some based on science, others on myths that spread across the internet. But in the end, which methods actually work? Is there something practical you can do today, in your own routine, that truly helps your body balance blood sugar levels? In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly that, simple, quick, and science-backed methods to help lower blood sugar. We'll talk about strategies you can apply at home, no miracles, no risks, just real results. And more. At the end of this video, I'll reveal a powerful technique, supported by recent studies, that could be a real game changer in your glucose control. So stay with me, because understanding these tips may completely change the way you manage diabetes in your daily life. Understanding what happens when blood sugar spikes. Before we talk about solutions, it's important to understand what it means to have high blood sugar. When you eat foods rich in carbohydrates, they are converted into glucose, which enters the bloodstream. Insulin's role is to carry that glucose into the cells, where it's used as energy. The problem is that, in people with diabetes, insulin may be lacking or not working properly. The result, glucose stays in the blood, causing symptoms like thirst, fatigue, blurred vision, and frequent urination. If this condition persists for too long, it can lead to serious complications. That's why knowing how to act quickly in a situation of high blood sugar makes all the difference. Simple and safe methods to lower blood sugar. Light walk after meals. Studies show that just 15 to 20 minutes of light walking can already help reduce blood sugar levels. That's because the muscles use glucose as fuel during activity, lowering the circulating amount. Practical tip: after lunch or dinner, instead of lying on the couch, take a short walk around the block, or even inside your home. Drink water. Proper hydration helps the kidneys eliminate excess glucose through urine. Drinking water regularly throughout the day is a simple and effective way to help control blood sugar. Important: avoid packaged juices or sugar-free sodas, which may contain additives that interfere with glucose balance. The best option is pure water. Eat fiber and protein before carbs. A research-backed trick is the so-called food order method. When you start a meal with fiber, salads, vegetables, legumes, and protein, chicken, fish, eggs, glucose absorption becomes slower, preventing spikes. Example: starting your plate with a leafy salad and vegetables before eating rice or bread already makes a difference. Resistance exercises. In addition to walking, including activities like simple squats, wall push-ups, or resistance band exercises helps consume glucose quickly. Science shows that even 3 minutes of light resistance training can reduce blood sugar levels after a meal. Breathing and stress control. Stress releases hormones like cortisol, which raise blood sugar. Simple deep breathing techniques, inhaling through the nose, holding for a few seconds, and slowly exhaling through the mouth, help reduce this response. Practical tip: when you feel your glucose is high, do 5 cycles of deep breathing before taking further action. Supportive foods. Some foods contain compounds that help improve insulin sensitivity and lower blood sugar. Cinnamon may help reduce glucose slightly in some people. Apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon diluted in water before meals, can help control spikes. Green tea contains antioxidants that support metabolic balance. Always with moderation and medical supervision. These are allies, not substitutes for treatment. What to avoid. When blood sugar is high, it's not enough to just do something to bring it down. It's essential to avoid actions that make the situation worse or create a roller coaster of spikes and crashes. Here's what gets in the way the most, and why. Simple carbohydrates and liquid sugar. Sweets, white bread, refined pasta, cookies, and especially sugary drinks, juices, sodas, bottled teas, smoothies, energy drinks, are absorbed very quickly, causing sharp glucose spikes. Why it's worse: the lack of fiber and protein speeds up absorption. In liquid form, the effect is even stronger. Common trap, but it's natural juice, so it's okay. Not when blood sugar is already high. Even 100% fruit juice, without the pulp's fiber, becomes liquid sugar. Better choice: water. If you want flavor, try water with slices of lemon/orange or unsweetened tea. If you're used to soda, zero versions can be a temporary harm reduction strategy, but the ideal is always water. Lying down or staying still after a high-carb meal. Why it's worse: without movement, the muscles don't pull glucose out of the blood, leading to prolonged post-meal spikes. Do this instead: 10 to 20 minutes of light movement, walking, tidying the house, stretching, already helps. Avoid very intense exercise if blood sugar is very high. Believing in miracle solutions. Tea that resets glucose, secret recipe, cure in 7 days. Besides being misleading, these can delay proper treatment. Why it's worse: you lose valuable time and may face side effects or interactions with medications. How to filter. Be wary of absolute promises, sensationalist language, and lack of references. Always talk to your doctor before using any supplement. Correcting high blood sugar with heavy fat. If I eat cheese/pizza/bacon without carbs, my blood sugar will drop. It won't. Fatty foods slow gastric emptying. The spike may take longer to show up, but it will come, and sometimes even higher. Why it's worse: fat does not reduce already high glucose, it only delays the peak, which can then be harder to predict. Better choice: prioritize water, light movement, and at the next meal, start with fiber and protein before carbs. Person running vigorous exercise when glucose is very high. Movement helps, but intense training with very high glucose, especially 250 to 300 mg/dl, and/or ketones can raise glucose even more due to stress hormones. Red flag: very high glucose plus symptoms, nausea, fruity breath, abdominal pain, heavy breathing. Check ketones and seek medical advice. Safe for now: light walking and hydration. Save intense workouts for when glucose is back in a safer range. Stacking insulin corrections without a plan. Injecting multiple corrections in a short time because it hasn't dropped yet increases the risk of delayed hypoglycemia. Why it's worse: each dose is still acting. Stacking in the dark may cause glucose to crash later. Do it right: respect your insulin's action time, follow your sensitivity factor, and when in doubt, consult your doctor or diabetes educator. Ignoring hydration and overdoing caffeine/alcohol. Dehydration concentrates glucose in the blood, making readings worse. Too much caffeine can raise glucose in some individuals. Alcohol dehydrates, may cause delayed hypoglycemia, especially with insulin, and is never a safe strategy to lower blood sugar. Better choice: water throughout the day. If drinking coffee, monitor your own response and avoid excess when glucose is already high. Snacking on refined carbs all day. Nibbling on cookies, bread, sugary bars, or fit snacks full of starch keeps blood sugar constantly high. Why it's worse: you don't give glucose a chance to return to baseline. Instead, you create a series of consecutive spikes. Useful trick: when you eat, think of a complete plate, fiber plus protein plus healthy fat, and leave pauses between meals. Medications that raise glucose without you noticing. Corticosteroids, e.g., prednisone, some decongestants, and certain antipsychotics can increase blood sugar. What to do: if you need to use them, let your doctor know you have diabetes. Temporary dose adjustments may be necessary. Trusting a single isolated reading. CGMs can have delays. Glucometers can give false readings if hands are dirty, wet, or if strips are expired. What to avoid: making drastic decisions based on a single odd number. Best practice: if the reading doesn't match your symptoms, repeat the test. Driving or risky activities with very high glucose. Reflexes, focus, and vision may be impaired. Avoid long drives or operating machinery if you don't feel well or if glucose is far outside your target range. Normalizing frequent small highs. It only went up a little, it'll come down later. Daily repetitions of sustained highs damage blood vessels and nerves over time. Instead, record patterns, time, meal, stress, sleep, and share them with your healthcare team. Fine-tuned adjustments prevent small highs from becoming the norm. Practical summary: when blood sugar is high, remember: don't liquid sugar, refined carbs, lying on the couch/bed, intense workouts, stacking insulin, alcohol, drastic actions from one reading. Do water, light movement, food order, fiber/protein before carbs, Check ketones if very high and you use insulin, track patterns, and follow the plan agreed with your healthcare team. Lowering blood sugar safely is not just about doing the right things, it's also about avoiding the wrong ones. The choices you don't make in the minutes after a spike can be just as important as the actions you do take. When to seek immediate medical help, extended version. There are moments when acting quickly makes all the difference. If blood sugar remains very high even after simple measures, hydration, light walking, correction according to your plan, or if you develop severe symptoms, it's time to seek urgent medical care. These warning signs may indicate serious complications, such as diabetic ketoacidosis, DKA, or hyperosmolar hyperglycemic state, HHS. Police car light warning signs that require emergency care. Seek immediate medical attention if you experience persistent nausea and vomiting, inability to keep fluids down, rapid or labored breathing, shortness of breath, or breath with a sweet/fruity odor, excessive drowsiness, confusion, severe dizziness, or fainting, strong abdominal pain, especially when accompanied by vomiting and high blood sugar, signs of severe dehydration, very dry mouth/skin, dizziness when standing up, very little, dark, urine, high fever or suspected infection, urinary, lung, wounds, with uncontrolled blood sugar, very high blood sugar, e.g., 300 to 350 mg/dl, that does not come down after 2 to 3 hours and corrections according to your plan. What to do at home right now. Recheck your blood sugar, confirm the value, wash hands, use valid strips. If using a CGM, compare with a fingerstick reading. Drink water in small sips, unless you are vomiting continuously. Do not do intense exercise with very high glucose or if ketones are present. Only light movement if you feel well. Check for ketones. Blood testing is more accurate than urine, if available, especially if you use insulin. If using an insulin pump, change the set/cannula/site and apply a correction dose according to your plan. Recheck in 1 to 2 hours. If vomiting, unable to keep fluids, or ketones are moderate/high, seek urgent medical care without delay. Warning, and what about severe hypoglycemia? Even though today's focus is hyperglycemia, remember, severe hypoglycemia is also a medical emergency. Warning, blood sugar less than 54 mg per deciliter or any value with confusion, fainting, or seizures. Action. Use glucagon as prescribed and call for medical help. Do not drive. Receipt. Final note. The tips you've seen throughout this video are complementary and extremely useful in daily management, but they do not replace medical supervision. Always have an action plan agreed with your healthcare team, when to check ketones, when to correct, when to seek urgent care, and keep your kit ready, glucometer/CGM, strips, insulin/pen, ketone test, and emergency contacts. Caring means deciding early. At the first signs of severity, don't wait. Seek help. Acting quickly can prevent complications and save lives. Diabetes may seem, at first glance, like an enormous challenge. And in truth, it is. It requires discipline, medical follow-up, and changes in the way we live. But at the same time, it brings an opportunity. The opportunity to get to know your body better, to pay more attention to signals that previously went unnoticed, and to learn how to transform daily choices into allies of your health. Throughout this video, we talked about simple and safe ways to lower blood sugar when it rises. We saw that small actions, like walking for a few minutes, drinking water, adjusting the order of foods and meals, or managing stress, can make a huge difference. These are accessible strategies, not dependent on miracle formulas, but on what science has already proven. We also looked at the other side, what not to do. Avoiding excess simple carbs, not falling for false promises, and not underestimating symptoms are precautions that can save you from complications. And above all, we talked about the importance of recognizing the moments when it is necessary to seek immediate medical help. Because when it comes to diabetes, information saves lives, but action at the right time saves even more. And here I want to leave a special message for you. Living with diabetes does not mean living limited. It means learning to know yourself, to take care of yourself, and to take control of your own story. Today we already have modern medications, advanced technologies, sensors, insulin pumps, monitoring apps, and above all, accessible knowledge. All of this is available to those who decide to take action. But nothing replaces the power of prevention and early diagnosis. Listening to your body, recognizing the signs, and seeking professional guidance are the actions that define the difference between serious complications and a balanced life. And remember, you are not alone on this journey. Millions of people around the world live with diabetes and increasingly share stories of resilience, discipline, and quality of life. You can be one of those stories. If this video brought you clarity, share it with someone who needs this information. It might be a friend, a family member, or even someone who doesn't yet realize they may be living with diabetes. Sometimes, a simple gesture of sharing knowledge can change someone's future. And don't forget, subscribe here to Diabetes in Everyday Life, turn on notifications, and follow the upcoming videos. Here you'll find reliable information, practical tips, and everything science already knows, so that diabetes stops being a mystery and becomes something you control. Take care, pay attention to your body's signals, and never underestimate the power of simple choices. See you in the next video, and always remember, health is freedom, and information is the first step to achieving it.